Hello, folks. Back again with more ancient cosmography. See, this is one from painting from Central. It was labeled as Central Eurasia. So I'm guessing that's in Siberia or something, but I'm not sure what Central Eurasia means. But it might be similar to Central Asia. But to me, this looks like it could be a map, This could be an island. I mean, conceivably it could be Afro-Eurasia. It could be like this is Africa, this is like Southeast Asia, and this is Eastern Siberia. I'm not sure what this would be like. This would be Scandinavia, anyway. So who knows? This could be a smaller island. This is it's just funny because I study these Pokemons or whatever, these zoomorphic and anthropomorphic avatars of islands and stuff, and this is the Pokemon Professor Rowan, apparently. So they have Professor Oak and Professor Rowan, because those are different trees that are associated with like ancient priests, druid people, whatever. So apparently Professor Rowan's original Japanese name is just the Japanese name for the Rowan tree. But anyway, it's a trip because I kind of am a Pokemon professor. And my name is Rowan, so it's meant to be. Let's see. Like, speaking of Pokemons, here's Sanda Island. On clear days, Sanda can be seen from the southern tip of the Kintyre Peninsula, from the Isle of Arran, and from northeast County Antrim. It is known locally on Arran and on the Antrim coast as Spoon Island because of its resemblance of an upturned spoon. It's one of 4 islands with a population of just 1 person in 2001. Now it has 3 people. But then some rich guy bought it. But just the fact that they call this Spoon Island, that they name islands based on their overall shape resembling something else. So that's a Pokemon. Spoon. That would be like some little Pokemon called Spoon Island or Spooner or something. Spoony. So let's see, the Mull of Kintyre. So this is, I guess it really is the tip, the stump of Kintyre that is the Mull of Kintyre. So, this is Kintyre. This whole stretch of land is Kintyre, and then this part is Knapdale. And so the tip of Kintyre is called the Mull of Kintyre, and there's like a Paul McCartney song about it. And apparently it's really high elevation right here. The red parts are basically all high elevation, seemingly. So these are mountains here. These are the highest mountains of Antrim. And this is maybe the highest mountain of Kintyre. So this is why it's like gnarly for not only boats, but even planes going through there. when it's misty. The Mull of Kintyre is the southwesternmost tip of the Kintyre Peninsula, formerly Cantyre, in southwest Scotland. From here, the Antrim coast of Northern Ireland is visible on a calm and clear day, and a historic lighthouse, the second commissioned in Scotland, guides shipping on the intervening North Channel. The area has been immortalized in popular culture by the 1977 hit song Mull of Kintyre by Kintyre resident Paul McCartney's band of the time, Wings. Mull of Kintyre. It does look reddish there. Maul Kintyre, Scottish Gaelic. And I think that lighthouse was probably built by Robert Louis Stevenson's family. I think it was them that were the lighthouse builders, the first lighthouse builders. Maybe his father. Mull of Kintyre. And so yeah, there's the Mull of Kintyre there. And Post Town, Campbelltown. Okay, so it's kind of near. Campbelltown's like on the side here, but it's in that postcode or whatever. It's within the Argyll and Bute like district or whatever. The name is an anglicization of the Gaelic Maul Kintyre. Gaelic pronunciation. What the shit? I don't know. In English, the rounded or bare headland of Kintyre, where kin and tyre are the genitive forms of head and land. The English variant derives from the phrase headland. Mull as a geographic term is most commonly found in southwest Scotland, where it applies to headlands or promontories, and often more specifically for the tip of that promontory or peninsula. So a headland or promontory tends to be not just a peninsula, but a mountainous peninsula that like rears its head up out of the sea. Yada yada. Oh wait, what did it say? Fuck. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so Ailsa Craig and the County Antrim coast of Ulster and Rathlin Island are all clearly visible from the Mull. On clearer days, So on clearer days, it is also possible to make out Malin Head in Inishowen in County Donegal in the west of Ulster. So that's probably the northern part of Donegal that sticks out like it's a peninsula. And the Ayrshire coast on the other side of Ailsa Craig. Other islands in the Firth of Clyde are also visible. Straits of Moyle, Kintyre. Notorious. See, the Straits of Moyle, part of the North Channel, allow sea passage from the Irish Sea to the Atlantic Ocean. So the Straits of Moyle, I guess, are the I think the straits between Kintyre and Antrim. Allows sea passage from the Irish Sea to the Atlantic Ocean. Notorious strong currents plague the tip of the Kintyre Peninsula, creating a hazard to unmotorized craft and virtually impossible for distant swimmers. At its closest point, mainland Ulster is 12 miles from the Mull, owing to the low elevation of Rathlin Island and the high elevation of the Mull of Kintyre. It is also possible to see over the top of Rathlin Island to the Antrim coastal town of Ballycastle. Individual houses on the Antrim coast and cars traveling along the coast road can sometimes be seen without the aid of binoculars, visibility conditions depending. The Mull has been an important land bridge throughout history. So it's not really exactly a land bridge, but it's the closest part. It is thought that it was used by early humans in their travels from continental Europe to Ireland via Scotland. So basically that the first Irish arrived via Kintyre. And in more recent times, it was used again by the Scotty when they traveled from Ulster to Scotland. When they traveled from Ireland to establish the kingdom of Dalriada in modern-day Argyll. Steep cliffs and hills rising out of the sea on all sides, along with the frequent sea mists, have made the area a hazard to flight. It has been the site of numerous air crashes throughout aviation history, and the remains of some of those crashed aircraft still litter the area. A notable air disaster on the Mull was the RAF Chinook helicopter crash in 1994. Steamship SS New York, converted to sail, was wrecked at the south end of the Mull of Kintyre. So yeah, you gotta be... That's why it's important to memorize all the spell songs about, the giants and all this stuff, because then you know where you are and you don't crash and die. Kintyre is highlighted in red. The Mull of Kintyre properly refers to the headland at the southernmost end, but in this context, the apparent angle of the whole peninsula is the relevant standard against which a penis would be compared. So this is called the Mull of Kintyre test, or Mull of Kintyre rule. It is, according to urban legend, an unofficial guideline that was used by the British Board of Film Classification in the United Kingdom to decide whether an image of a penis could be shown. According to the myth, the BBFC would not permit the general release of a film or video if it depicted a phallus erect to the point that the angle it made from the vertical was higher than that of the Kintyre Peninsula, Argyll, and Bute on maps of Scotland. The BBFC has denied that any such test existed and maintained it is merely a humorous rumor. So, I could see that. Kintyre. Let's see. So just looking more into the Red Hand of Ulster. So, it seems to be that, that this is the Red Hand of Ulster, the Antrim Hills, and Kintyre is the stump of the giant's arm, and he's like throwing his hand to become Lord of Ireland in the story, in the old myth or whatever. So that's to signify that, and then this is basically the same concept in the ancient Egyptian 5,500-year-old thing where his arm is Argyll and he's holding Ireland by Ulster right on Antrim. And so I'm just, studying into this more. The Red Hand of Ulster, also known as the Red Hand Uníl, is a symbol used in heraldry to denote the Irish province of Ulster and the Northern Uníl in particular. However, it has been used by other Irish clans across the island, including the Connachta, the ruling families of Western Connacht, e.g. the Flahertys and McHughes, and the Southern Uníls, chiefs of the Midlands, e.g. Clan Colmaine, etc., is an open hand colored red with the fingers pointing upward, the thumb held parallel to the fingers and the palm facing forward. It is usually shown as a right hand, but it is sometimes a left hand, such as the coats of arms of baronets. So it's like it should be a left hand in a sense, seemingly, because this looks like it's a left arm. Although the way that it looks on the mountains in some ways resemble a right hand. But, hands are often shown wonky in ancient art where left and right were really interchangeable for some reason, for whatever reason. Historical background: the red hand is rooted in Gaelic culture as the sign of a great warrior. It is believed to date back to pagan times. The red hand is first documented in surviving records in the 13th century, where it was used by the Hiberno-Norman de Burgh, Earls of Ulster. It was Walter de Burgh who became first Earl of Ulster in 1243, who combined the de Burgh cross with the red hand to create a flag that represented the earldom of Ulster and later became the modern flag of Ulster. It was afterwards adopted by the O'Neills when they assumed the ancient kingship of Ulster, inventing the title Rex Ultoni, King of Ulster, for themselves in 1317 when claiming it unopposed from 1345 onwards. The early Irish heraldic use in Ireland. My phone might cut me off soon, but I'm just going to try to get into this a little bit. An early 15th century poem by Mel O'Huan is named Lam Derg Eirene. So Lam Derg means red hand, and Eirene means like Irish, I think. The first line of which is a variation of the title, Lam Derg Eirene Ib Ethach, translated as the Uichach are the red hand of Ireland. The Uichach were one of the Cruthon tribes known as the Dal Nuraidi after 773 that made up the ancient kingdom of Ulaid, Ulster, basically. The red hand symbol is believed to have been used by the O'Neills during its 9 Years' War, 1594 to 1603, against English rule in Ireland. Kind of ironic since the hand seems to be Britain holding Ireland, although at that time Scotland was helping Ireland, so it kind of still fits in a way. And the war cry Lam Derg Erin Abu, the red hand of Ireland to victory, was also associated with them. An English writer of the time noted the ancient red hand of Ulster, the bloody red hand, a terrible cognizance. And in allusion to that terrible cognizance, the battle cry of Lam Derg Abu. So the fact they call it bloody red hand, it shows that, they knew the story. The Order of Baronets was instituted by letters of patent dated 10 May 1612, which state that the baronets and their descendants shall and may bear either in a canton in their coat of arms or in escutcheon at their election the arms of Ulster, that is, in a field agent, a hand guiles, or a bloody hand. Oh, damn it. Okay, the oldest baronets using a dexter right hand, just like the O'Neills. However, it later became a sinister left hand. I guess sinister means left. Literally, exclusive rights to the use of the red hand symbol has proved a matter of debate over the centuries. Okay, not much. Further poetic quatrains in the dispute. Possible origins. Those involved in the Bardic dispute of 1689 claim that the red hand symbol came from a legendary ancestor who put his blood-stained hand on a banner after victory in battle. So this is different from the story that is actually known, but whatever. There's all these weird versions that are not well known, but are probably just side avenues of it. Diarmid mac Anbaird claimed that Conall Cernach, a mythical Ulaid hero from the Ulster cycle, put his bloodied hand on a banner as he avenged the death of Cuchu Lane, another mythical Ulaid hero, and it has belonged to the descendants of Conall ever since.